Right, here's our fruit trees. I haven't pruned these things in 2 years. I've let them go, and it is time to get to work on these. Look at all the vertical growth on this one. All inside the tree, cross branches, everything. The center's kind of taking off, filling it again. We got to fix this. This one here was a Granny Smith. I thought it was going to die one time, and I let it go, and it made a really nice comeback. It got really big and a lot of new growth, but it is time to prune it. This one here, I don't know if this was a Gala or a Pink Lady. I don't remember what kind I planted. I should have put tags on them or something, but it actually has a pretty nice spooky shape to it. I cut all the tops out, but you can see how all that vertical growth is trying to grow off of those branches. It's trying to grow up tall again, so I'm gonna hack them back pretty good. And I can't cut with the mower now. I can't get next to it because it's grown out. These are my pear trees. I've never pruned them except cut off the lower branches so I can mow, and they are growing just too tall, too straight and too tall. I can't even pick that fruit, and it's very hard when it's windy because of the weight of the tree and the leaves and the fruit. It wants to tip over. So that's a good reason. That's enough of a good reason to prune them. Like you can see this one here, I've had to tie this down so much because the wind wants to knock this thing over. So I want to really cut them up, get some work done on these things. And you got 3 main trunks growing up in the center of that for no reason. So we're gonna have to do some work on that. All right, let's see what we can do here. All right, well, there's the first tree done. You might be looking at it like, what did you do? You cut at the bases. Well, what I was trying to do is open up the center, and anything that was growing vertical, let's say like this piece right here, I want anything to grow vertical. All the branches should face outwards, and I don't want anything taller than me. I want to be able to pick all the fruit. Now, the really only new branch that I left was this skinny one right here. All right, so let's look at what I'm doing here. So I'm cutting out the top of this tree, and what I'm trying to do, again, is cut anything that grows up, and I want to force a branch to grow horizontally. So you can see, let's take this branch right here, for instance, this small one coming out. And I chose to cut it here because it's nice and horizontal, but then it started going up. So what I did is I looked under it, and you can see how there's a bud underneath that's going to grow downwards. So I cut it that one because then the branch will continue to grow downwards. If I would have cut, let's say here at this upward one, the branch would start growing up. So what I'm doing is finding all my cuts in front of a bud that would grow down. So anything that may grow up is what's coming off, and the inside's open. But I gotta do that, and then this whole patch right here. Alright, that's it for the apple trees. This one here was one of my newest ones. Somebody gave it to me. It was in bad shape. They gave me a whole bunch of them that they never got into the ground, and most of them dried and died. This was the only fruit tree they gave me that survived, and it's made it 1 year. So in 1 year it made a comeback. So I don't want to hack it up too much right now. It's got an okay shape to it for now. We'll let it go, let it establish itself, and then we'll come back to it. But this one, holy moly, this was growing completely straight up. Now, maybe because of the type of apple tree it was. One of these was a gala. I'm not sure which one this one was, but you could kind of tell how I tried to keep it horizontal. And we'll come back to it in the spring and see. This one was kind of the same thing. I only had 3 main trunks on the right side. So this here on the left is pretty new. This little patch here. So I'm going to let them try to get some branches going that way to kind of round out the tree. This is the spookiest one, but it's actually the easiest one to prune. I don't know, I can't remember which ones they were, but again, it's kind of all growing on the right side. So this branch here, and hopefully one of these little ones on this right here, I'll let come out to the left side to even it out some. But now onto these pear trees. These stinking pear trees are 20 foot tall, and the centers are growing just straight up. Pretty useless. I don't know how much of this I can cut off, but I'm going to try. I might get a ladder and just cut off the top centers of it. Okay, now that I'm looking at it, right here where the ladder is, you can see this branch goes straight up here. But right around there it kind of comes out to the right. So I think this straight part, I'll cut that off. And then we've got some nice curved branches here we'll keep. And I think right from this one coming out on an angle, everything above that's going up, I'm going to take off. This angle one right here above me comes down all the way down to here, so we'll keep that one. But first I'm going to get off all this low stuff around here so I can walk around. It's too low. Once it gets fruit, it's dragging on the ground, and the dogs grab the fruit and pull the branches and break the branches because it's just too low. So let's take care of that low stuff. So as I'm walking around cutting, look at this branch coming across here. That's a perfect branch coming across, but look what it's doing. Right here it's rubbing against this main runner here. So that kind of sucks, because right here it's going to rub these 2 branches and cause disease. So as much as I like this branch, it's rubbing and it's coming from the center of the tree out. So it kind of sucks, but this one's got to go. Darn it. Okay. Look at that. Let's keep going. Okay, so here's the after. All the apple trees are done. They weren't too bad. This was the worst one. Straight up in the air, we fixed that. And the pear trees. Now, I know you're not supposed to cut more than 1/3 of your tree off, and I hacked the crap out of these trees. You can see the big stumps there in the middle. Not too good of a job. I cut so much off, but I had no choice. They were just so tall and heavy that they were getting pulled out. The wind was tilting them over. I was going to lose them. The trees were spending all their energy. The trees were using all their energy to grow branches instead of roots. So I had to cut them back. I was either going to lose them from the wind if I didn't do anything. So I figure let's just try to trim them, and hopefully they can make it through that really rough cut job here. This one was the worst. You can see how it's in the ground. It's leaning. You can actually wiggle that tree. It's so loose. The root system is so poor that I had to cut it. It wasn't going to make it. And that is so tall. That one branch is so tall, but it's neat. It's just so curvy like that. I just didn't have the heart to cut it. So hopefully we get some pears hanging off there. That'll look pretty cool. But that's it. That's what we did today. We'll make another video of what happened to these things, and let's see if they make it or not. Hopefully they do. I'm pretty confident the apple trees will be fine. I've done this to the apple trees since I've had them, but I'm still actually trying to train them to grow the way I want them to. This one's tough. This one wants to grow straight every stinking time. Alright, so come back in the spring and watch for this update video. Thanks.